go up to public school. If we're going to take God out of the equation, I can save a whole lot of money. So we've got to give bang for the buck. That's huge. Bang for the buck for parents in the schools. Or they're out of there. There's too much fluidity in the economy right now that people are going to invest in iffy things. I mean, we're almost like the stock market to a lot of people. I mean, it's an investment. When you're signing for a year thing, you're putting earnest money up front. You've got to have people feel like as the year progresses, all right, now I'm getting what I paid for. I want to never have a parent that leaves that thinks, one, we had a bad year this year, or two, I didn't get my money's worth. I tell parents when we have open house, I tell parents, whatever your very highest expectations are of me today, by the end of May, I want to double it. I want to go so far beyond your wildest expectations, you're going to be blown away. And I mean that. I'm very, very serious about that. And not because I want my name put out there as any great special teacher, because I want the children to have that experience. And because I want them to stick around for first grade. I will tell you, our retention level from kindergarten to first grade in my school is remarkable. I mean, it's sometimes as much as 98, 99% retention. I think of all the grades in our school, the one that retains, and this isn't anything because of me, I'm just saying, we have less turnover from kindergarten to first grade than any other grade change in the entire school. And that's a fact. And that would not be so if parents were dissatisfied with the product that's coming out of the school. All right, last thing. Oh, this is so huge, and I know my time's running short. Be positive. I have heard teachers at different schools, when they see parents, the first thing out of their mouth is something negative. Well, guess what he did today? They don't want to hear that right off the bat. I've literally had parents tell me, well, geez, does he do anything right? My child's teacher can't stand to see him come. I'm sure I have a lot of moms out here today. That's a terrible feeling to think that your child's in a classroom with someone who can't stand the sight of them. And if you're only communicating negative problems day in and day out, that is the message that you're conveying to your parents. And and I'm saying that as a parent and as a teacher. So when you talk to a parent, focus on something successful or positive first. Yes, you can deal with a negative situation. I'm not saying you can't. But start with something they did good. All of them have something they did good. He lifted the seat when he went to the bathroom. Find something. Come on, gotta be something that he did okay. But focus on that first, and that diffuses so much. Like I said, I was in retail for a long time, so a lot of the things I did with parents are things I did with customers. A lot of common ground there, where you diffuse an angry situation when a customer comes in and they're fussing. You can do so much with the way you interact with them to diffuse a situation, or you can elevate and propagate the situation. So you're dealing with people. All right, so focus on the safety first. Now this is and there's a lot of you that may do this, and I didn't put don't do. I just want to make you aware of some pitfalls of the daily behavior report. I do not do a daily behavior report, and let me tell you why. And I think this is especially important with preschool. Your mom, when you come pick up your child from after school at 5:30 in the afternoon, and in their folder when you get home at 6 after you're going through their stuff, he threw a book across the room today. Now, what is a parent supposed to do about that? 7.5 hours after it happens, 6 hours after it happens, 5 hours after. I mean, what are you wanting to do other than tell them they misbehaved? Personally, I just don't see. I don't see what that's going to produce that's going to be anything positive. And especially if you're sitting home every day, a negative, a negative, a negative, a negative. Wow, I've gotten 5 negatives about my child this week. He's a holy terror and you can't stand him. It's true. If you're a mom, if you've got school-age children, raise your hand. How many moms are out here? A lot. You want to see that when you get home? I don't. And let me tell you what it does. When you send enough of those home, the message it conveys to parents is, I can't control my classroom. I have no classroom management skills whatsoever. I'm throwing my arms up and saying, you deal with it. Well, no, that's my job to deal with it. That is my job. That's the biggest part of the job is crowd control. I mean, the educating's fairly easy. It's having to keep order that's tough. But use parents, and I'm not saying don't use parents, and I'll go ahead and click this. Use parents, but do so in a way that's going to bond you with that parent, not isolate you from the parent. The parent's not the enemy. Shouldn't be. And sometimes they're a pill to deal with. Been there, done that. But do you want them to be an unbearable pill to deal with, or just kind of a pill to deal with? A lot of it has to deal with how you finesse them. Share cute stories. Oh, you will love this. This is very easy once you get to know your parents for well. You know, oh, I got to tell you what he did today. You know, it's a carpool kind of through the window thing. But those cute stories show that you have a relationship with your students and that you have a relationship with your parents. It personalizes things more. Much better than just on paper, very black and white kind of stuff. Make it fun. You know, kids just say crazy things every single day. And remember, happy kids equals happy parents. Happy parents equals happy administrators. Happy administrators equal happy teachers. It's the great circle of life. It's the Lion King syndrome. But it's true. It is so true. Don't heap ashes on your head unnecessarily. Don't invite conflict. It's unnecessary. So if you do a behavior report, and I'm not saying, I don't do them, but I'm not saying don't do them. I'm just saying think about the consistency of the message you're sending home. Are you sending home something negative every day, every day, every day, every day, every day? Or is there anything that's ever positive? Because guess what? If the teacher last year never sent a negative home, and this year you're sending one home every day, what's that say? Just a little something to think about there. But see, I mean, you know, that, and if they don't get one the year after. So we'll look for things, and like I said, I'm not saying partner with parents, and that's on this next one, and communicate with parents, but do so in a way that doesn't bring more misery into your life. We don't have that. Proactive in communication. Don't always make the parent be the one to make the first move. Don't make the parents feel like, well, I'm the one that always has to come to you. You never call me. Unless it's a problem. Take a couple minutes out and say, I got to tell you what, the light went on. I tell you, I had called parents and said, they came up to my desk, we were doing a reading test, and all of a sudden on the second board they got it. They started reading, and we hugged and we cried, and it was an awesome thing. And I just had to share that with you. What a great phone call. That's an awesome phone call. And I guarantee it'll take less of your evening than a bad phone call will. That's a quickie. Try to deal with a problem over the phone when Dance with the Stars is on. Not fun. Not fun. Julianne's coming on. Utilize emails and newsletters. I do this. I send a newsletter out, and actually, my newsletter is sort of twofold. I also send it to the 4-year-old parents, and the reason we do that is it's sort of, again, a selling tool, a carrot to dangle to sort of entice the 4-year-old parents and keep them apprised of what's going on, and just, you know, just an FYI. And what we do is we send a letter out to say, if you're interested in subscribing to the email newsletter,